So Adapt TV is a technology company, started in Silicon Valley 5 years ago, and developing software particularly for the video industry. So as you're probably aware, the video industry is quite a complicated space. There's a lot of different devices, there's a lot of different platforms, there's a lot of different players that need to be linked to. And so we developed ad-serving technology to address these needs and to allow this linking together of the technology that's necessary to make this happen. 3 years ago, we then developed an exchange. It was becoming clear that the market was moving in this direction, that agencies and publishers wanted to use this kind of technology to be able to trade media. And so we developed this technology, and now we've grown into the largest marketplace for video advertising in the world, covering off virtually all territories around the world. We've got an office in Australia, we have an office in London, and then across the States. So we have a New York office, we have an LA office, San Francisco, Chicago and Dallas. Giving us good coverage to be able to manage the global publishers that we work with, as well as look after some of the local markets that need a bit more individual attention. Adapt TV has been working in the European markets for about 3 years now. We put people on the ground 12 months ago. I joined myself towards the late end of last year, 2011. And the focus for Europe has been different. It needs to be different. If we try and take an American way of doing business, where you have one country with one currency and one language, and try and overlay that onto a similar sized market like Europe, which has 29 different languages, it's not going to work. We've seen this a number of times from other players that have come over here adopting business models, not just from the States, but from any country, and trying to overlay them onto Europe. Europe is quite a fragmented market. Each country works quite independently, and even more so in the video space. TV broadcasters tend to be within each country, and there tends to be dominant players within each country. So you may have companies like RTL who have Channel 5 in the UK and have RTL in France, and then being one of the major players in the TV, and for video advertising in general. We've also got a number of publishers who, again, based on the language, will be focused within a country. That might be Spanish publishers, Italian publishers, French publishers, German publishers. Those countries where the languages are still very strong and predominantly spoken, then the local players are the ones that win out. And so the approach that we've taken for Europe has been to try and understand these issues, to try and address the reality of trying to work across so many markets that are so fragmented. And so what we've done is we've tried to look at the people who are aggregating the inventory together. And so we see that the sales houses and the representation networks around Europe already have these relationships in place. They have very strong relationships with publishers in the local market, and they know how to speak to them, they know how to manage them, and they know how to work with them. Something that would be very difficult to do from a central location, for example, like London, or even to have 1, 2 people in each market trying to service a number of clients. So the strategy has been to work with the sales houses and the representation networks to empower them to bring their publishers on board. And so we're creating private listings within our marketplace. And the way that this works is a representation network will come to us. They will bring along 30 to 50 websites, for example, and we will work with them to help divide them into different categories. So it might be sport, it might be travel, it might be entertainment, it might be by demographic, whatever way that they feel would be most comfortable. We're trying to match up to TV audiences because it's something that we think is going to be quite important moving forward. But the important thing is we're providing the technology, and the sales house is then using that technology to build a platform for themselves to support their publishers. They also get the ability to set floor prices by category, set floor prices by individual publisher, and give them the control to say, if you want to work on an IO basis with agencies, you can do that, and that's their business, and that works very, very well. However, if you want to start exploring the real-time bidded world, with all its advantages for data, with all its advantages for doing business in a programmatic way, then here's the technology. And so it's a very symbiotic relationship. It works very well for us because it means that the buyers that we have in the system get access to this premium quality inventory, but at the same time it allows networks to enter this space without having to invest huge amounts of money trying to build market-leading technology. We can provide that for them and give them that ability straight away.